Today, we're going to be building our own Minecraft character. We're going to be breaking it down into 6 milestones, making each step achievable, possible, understandable, etc. Enough talking, let's dive into it. Let's get started with milestone 1. We're just going to be drawing the outline of the face and the hair. So follow along and code with me. Use the link in the description to come to code.strymap.com and let's get coding. So we want to start with just the face. I'm going to say that the face is going to be 100 pixels wide by 75 pixels high. Whenever we're drawing, it's a good idea to set the dimensions or have an idea of how big you want something to be before you do it. So let's just write this down. It's going to be 100 by 75. So rectangle, we want to start with the position. Let's go ahead. One very useful tool that I want to use is crosshair. So if I type crosshair, I'm then going to get my X and Y coordinates. Kind of want to be at the top here, so let's say something like X 150. Now let's go X 200 and Y 400. So that's going to be where we're going to draw our face. So X 200, Y 400, width 100, height 100, height 75. Okay, we've got the outline. We now want to draw the hair. So now the hair is behind the face, obviously, right? The ordering here then matters. So if I draw a rectangle afterwards, so this one represents, so if I'm going to comment over here and say this is the face. If I say this is the hair, the ordering matters. So if I do something like this and say, okay, let's say the hair is going to be something similar. Let's say it's going to be in the same position, 200, 400. Width, we want it to be a little bit wider than the face because we want it to like come out. So we can say 120. And height, doesn't matter too much, say 50. But now you can see the hair is in front of the face. In order to get it behind the face, we need to call hair first, or draw the hair first, and then the face. Okay, now we just need to get the positioning right. So the width is 120. So we want it to come out like 10 pixels out to the right, 10 pixels out to the left. So if I put 190 here instead, then it's going to come out symmetrical across both sides. Now we just need to move it up. So let's say 450. What does that look like? Okay, it looks too much like an afro. Let's go 430. Too short, 440. Okay, cool. We have the outline of the face done. Next part is the color. So I'm going to actually teach a little bit of a trick here. What we're going to do is if you come into Google and then you search Minecraft character, and then I'm going to come into images. Let's choose one of them. I think this guy is looking good. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click on the image and, oh, okay, I saw it. I'm going to right click somewhere on the page. Let me right click. It's evidently not working if I do it in the image. Right click somewhere in the page and I get this inspect. Click on inspect. You're going to get all of this fancy stuff coming up. Come to elements. So you have elements, console, etc. Come to elements. What we're looking for is anything that has color. And any place where you see this little like colorful rectangle over here. Might be difficult to see. I can zoom in super quick. Oh, it's not working on that. Okay, never mind. We're wanting to find anything with color here. Click on that rectangle. Come to this little eyedropper icon. And now you can highlight over any part and you will get the color of that part of the page. So you can see how it's moving around. So if I want to get the color code anywhere, here we're talking about the face. So let's move it over the face. I get the hex value. We want to be dealing in RGB for now. And here we have an RGB value for the face. So 255, 206, 139. So for the face, I'm going to go full. What was it? 255. 255, 206, 139. Okay, cool. We get a kind of face going. Let's get the hair. And that one is going to be 10550. 10550. Cool. Okay, we've got our hair and face of our Minecraft character. That is milestone 1. Done. Next up is milestone 2, the face. So to get the face, this is actually going to be one of the more tricky parts because we really need to understand dimensions. Let's start with the mouth. So I'm going to put a comment to say we're dealing with the mouth over here. And let's make some space. So for the mouth, of course, we're going to start with another rectangle. Let's just put it somewhere random for now. Oh, okay. We can notice one thing already. The crosshair, or the X and Y coordinates, are behind the face. Put it in front of the face. Let's just move that over to the last line of code. So somewhere over here. Now you can see it's coming up in front. So let's say something like, let's just put it in the middle for now, or somewhat in the middle. So let's say 240 and y 400. So x 240, y 400. Let's say the width of the face is, the mouth is 40, the height is 20. Okay, cool. How do we get this to be symmetrical? Like, we need it to be in the middle of the face. So let's draw this. I'm gonna put a little square over here and I'm gonna label it. So we know that going across over here, it's about 100 wide. Now, so that means to get into the middle, we're looking at 50, right? So that's going to be the middle. But if I draw a rectangle in the middle from 50, right? Because when we say rectangle, when we specify the x and y coordinate, we specify the x and y coordinate of the bottom left corner, right? That's the position where I just put that circle. So if I say 50 halfway in the circle, or the face, it's going to come up lopsided. We want it to be in the middle. That means we need it to start over here. That's the x coordinate that we need to specify. So how do we find the coordinate of this bottom left corner? If we know that this rectangle over here, because we've set it to be, oh, arrow going crazy. Let's see if I can get an arrow to be nice. Yes, I can. So this rectangle, we know, is 40 pixels across, 40. And we know that the center point of this rectangle is going to be at 50, half of the width, at 50. So that means we want it to be symmetrical. So we want half of the mouth to be to the right of 50, half of the mouth to be the left of 50. So half of 40 is 20. So that means from this coordinate, from the middle coordinate over here, bring this back into like what looks like the middle, we want to go 20 to the left, 20 to the right. So 50 minus 20, we're going to get to 30. So the x coordinate that we want to specify for this mouth is going to be 30. Let's see if this works in code. So we know that the face starts at the x coordinate 200 and goes across 100. So that means halfway in between the face is going to be 250. So now 250, the mouth is 40 pixels. I want the mouth to be symmetrical. So go 20 pixels to the left of 250. We're going to get 250 minus 20, 230. So rect, this needs to be at 230. Now it's in the middle. Let's move it up just a little bit. Let's say 420. Too much, 410. All right, cool. We've got the mouth. Let's give the eyes a go. So eyes, similar. We're going to have some interesting challenges. Let's clear this up a little bit. What we want for the mouth is we want to have it looking something. We want it to line up with the rectangle like that. So I'll go there and there. Okay. So we need to be able to specify this coordinate over here, the bottom left coordinate of this rectangle, and the bottom left coordinate of this rectangle for the eyes. We this point over here is essentially 30 pixels from the start of the rectangle. Now we want to go left a little bit more. Let's say we haven't actually set a width of the eye. So let's say that the width of the eye is, I think 10 will work. We'll find out. Let's say the width of the eye is 10. Similar principle. If this is at 30, we want to go 10 more to the left to now get to this point. So at 30, this point over here is going to be 20. For this point over here, we know we're starting at 30. We go across for the width, which is 40. Let's put that over here. Go across. This is going to look crazy with all of the arrows. We know that this is 40 across. So we go 30 across to get to this point, 40 across to get to this point. So that means that point over here is going to be 70. 30 plus 40. Let's put this into code. So let's go ahead and we'll say left eye, rectangle. So we've made the eye 10 across. Let's see what this looks like. So now 220, because we're going 10 left to the mouth. 220. For now, let's say something like 430. The Y we can play around with a little bit more. And 10 across. Okay, 10 is too small. We're going to need to make a 20 across, I think. I can see already. So let's make a 20 across, but now we can just take the same principle. So now instead of subtracting 10, we're going to subtract 20. So this is going to become 210. And height, let's go ahead and make it 10. Okay, kind of. Maybe height 15? I think this might work. Let's move this up a little bit. So 430, 450. Too high, 440. Okay, cool. Making progress. I think... Yeah, okay. So we now have the one eye. We now want to get the other eye. So let's go ahead. Let's make a comment to show we're working on the right eye. So, okay, rect. Let's copy paste that bad boy. And now all we want to do is translate it to the end of this rectangle. So we know this coordinate over here is 200. We know that the start of this rectangle is 230, and the width of the rectangle is 40. So it means that the end of this is going to be 270. So rect 270. We want it to be in line with the other eye, so we're going to say 440, and we're going to say 20 by 15. Okay, cool. This is we're making some progress here. The pupils. See, like more detail you add, the more challenging it gets. So we can see these pupils that kind of look like he's squinting a little bit. So this pupil is going to be quite simple to do, because all we're going to do for that pupil is it's going to start at the same bottom left corner as that eye. So the rect, and now the eye is at 270, 40, 440, and now it's just going to be much smaller. So let's say it's something like 15, then 10 by 15. Okay, that might work. And now we want to do something similar. So we've got this eye. That's fine, right? We've been able to get that simply. This point, again, we're going to need to work that out. So how do we find this right pupil? To do that, it's a little bit more tricky, right? Because this one, we already had the x and y coordinate of this bottom left corner. Here, we need to work out what is the x and y coordinate of this bottom left corner. To work that out, we know what this bottom left coordinate is, right? Previously, we said it was, for the left eye, it's 210. And we know it goes across by 20. So it means that this coordinate over here is 230. We want to go to the left by the width of this eye, which is 10. So that comes to 220. So for the left pupil, let's go ahead and make that here, left pupil. Blah, left pupil. We go rect, 220, same height, 440, or same y, height, width of 10, height 15. Okay, cool. Now we just want to get the color. Let's follow the same steps we did previously. Gonna go in. Okay, well, look, this is simple. That's just going to be white. So for the eyes, which are these guys, we're going to go ahead and fill white. Okay, cool. Let's just call these are both the eyes. And then we're going to call the pupils. Okay. And for the pupils, select there, 109, 109, 64, 193. So full 109, 64. What was the last one? 193. Okay, cool. We're making some progress. Let's see what the mouth looks like. So this guy's got a beard. We're not going to draw a beard, because otherwise it's going to get too complicated. Let's say that is the mouth. So 255, 121, 78. So where did we put the mouth? Here. See, it's a good thing we've labeled these. So full, 255, 121, 78. 255, 121, 178. Okay, that looks weird. What? I feel like I got something wrong here. Maybe that's too pink. I think we got that part. Let's see. Let's try that part. 194, 80, and 37. 194, 80, 37. It's looking better. It's looking better. So I actually want to make these eyes a little bit bigger. It looks a little bit funny. What I'm going to do is make this is the right eye over here. I am going to make it just instead of 25, instead of 20, 25. Because the bottom left coordinate doesn't change, the pupil is fine. But for this one, when I make this a little wider, this bottom left coordinate of the pupil needs to move to the edge. So for the left pupil, we made the I5 bigger, so we're just going to move the X position of the pupil over by 5. Cool, that is looking better. That is milestone 2. Done. So we're done with milestone 2. Let's hit milestone 3. We're just going to put the body and the shoulders. This one should be nice and simple. Okay, so let's come down here and we go into body. So we want a rectangle that's a little bit thinner than the face. And we want it to start at, so, okay, again, we need to set the dimensions. So let's say that the dimensions of the body, it needs to be thinner than the face. The face is 80, so let's make the body, the face is 100, so let's make the body 80 pixels wide. And its height, let's say it's like 100 pixels tall. 100? No, it's going to need to be bigger, otherwise it's going to look a bit strange. Let's say it's 150. So what we want to be able to do is go from this this y coordinate over here, and we want to come down by 150. So we got this 400, and we want to come down 400 minus 150 is 250. The x, for now, let's just put it in line with this, is 200. So let's say 200, come down to 250, width of 80, height of 150. Cool. Okay. Now we just want to move it over a little bit to the right. So instead of 200, we're going to put 210. That way, there's going to be 10 pixels on either side of this. And then we just simply want the shoulders. So rect. Now, let's start with the right shoulder. It should be kind of simple. Let's say it's going to be 40 pixels wide, 20 pixels high. No, that's going to be the same as the mouth. Let's say 40 by 30, right? So 40 by 30. And for that, similar, we want to get the coordinate of the y position of this rectangle. So we know that this is 400. The height of the shoulder is 30. 400 minus 30, 370. X, we can kind of see it's going to be 290. 290, 370, and then 40, 30. Okay. Left shoulder, similar deal. Let's just copy paste the right shoulder. And now we just need to move it over to the left. So similar principle. This is at 290. We need to go 80 across for the width of the body. We get to 210. We need to go another 40 across to get to the x coordinate there. So 210, let's see, 210 minus 40, we get 170. So that x is just going to be 170. Cool. We've got our shoulders. Let's get color. Color, the body is just going to be this kind of blue. So that is 88, 239, 243. 288, 239, 243, 200. I keep forgetting them. I can only keep one number in my head at a time. 239, 243. What is happening? Something has gone terribly wrong. 88. Silly. And wait a second, we can't have... Yeah, RGB colors only go up to 255. How am I putting 293, 239? Silly Billy. Okay, I need to make it for the whole body, so that's for these guys. Let's go ahead and put labels so we're able to find this all later. So this is the body, this guy, shoulders. Okay, we're making progress. Milestone 4, super simple, the arms. Okay, we want it to start. Okay, we're dealing with the bottom left coordinate again. So let's say that the arms are going to be 60 pixels high. They need to be the same width as the shoulders. So the width is going to be 40. So the dimensions are going to be 40 by 60. So let's start the right one. We know that y is 370. We've made the height 60. So we're going to come 370 minus 60, 310. So rect. X is going to be the same. It's just all in line. So the X that we have there, which is 290, and 370 minus 60, 310, and we put 40 by 60. Cool. Okay. I think we can make it higher. I won't lie. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks a bit funny. Let's make this. What will it look like if I make it 100? Maybe 100, maybe 80. Said 880. And now, okay, similar principle. We've just increased the height by 20, so we need to change the Y position by 20. So it's going to go from 310 to 290. Okay, that's the right arm, left arm. We can now, again, it's going to be the same coordinates, just translated over to the left. So I copy paste it. I just need to know what this X coordinate is, which is 170. So I just need to change that, 170. Cool. Now we just need the color. So come back into this guy, grab this color, go, oh, let's grab the arm. 255, 171, 85. Let's see if I can remember this time. 200, I forgot it already. It's too much pressure. 255, 171, and 85. Cool, okay, we've got a Minecraft character. Okay, it looks a bit funny though, no? I feel like it should be the same color as the face. So what's happening here is that they're using shadows. So in order to give it the perception of depth, they have shadows. Because ours is 2D, we don't have shadows. Let's just use the exact same color that we used for the face, which was this guy. So I'm going to just copy paste that guy, replace it over here. Cool, that looks better. And now this is our arms. Last milestone, not last, second last, milestone 5, the legs and the shoes. So, again, the principles are going to be the same. We're going to be starting here, and now we want to come down to the height of the legs. So let's say the legs, how big is our body? Our body is 150, so our legs are 100. It makes sense to have, no, let's have our legs same height, otherwise it's going to look a bit weird. So the legs are going to start over here. So we're starting at a y 250. We have the same height, so 250 minus 150. We're going to come to 100 for the legs. So rect, this x is going to stay the same over here, which is 210, 210 down to 100. Okay, width is actually important. We're going to want to take the body, we want to make both legs the same size. The width of this body is 80, so we're going to make the size of one of the legs 40. And we said that the height is 150. Cool. Okay, let's copy paste that leg over, and we then just want to move it across by 40 over to the right, so 250. Okay, he looks naked. Let's give him some clothes. Here we don't actually have the color of his pants, so let's find a different guy. And let's that one. Okay, 0, 155, 207. Full. 0, 155, 200, 155, 207. Cool. We have his legs. Let's get his shoes. Similar concept. We're just going to take whatever's on the left leg, right? Which is this bad boy. Yes, is it? No, that's the right leg because it's at 250. This is the left leg. So say legs. And then let's put shoes as the next guy. We are going to go same X. Let's just make the shoes 20 high. So the rect for the shoes then is going to be whatever we're at here, which is at 100Y. We're going to make the shoes 20 high. So we're going to come down to 80 for the X. So same for the Y. Sorry, 210. The Y comes down to 80. The width needs to be the same as the leg, 40, height 20. Cool. Let's get the other leg. Just going to copy paste this guy over. And we're just going to move it over by 40 to the right to get to the other leg to get to 250. Okay, color. Let's see. I like this color for the Minecraft character. So let's go there. Find this little gray guy. 85, 85, 85. Okay. Last milestone, the sword. Okay, this is going to be the one with the most new instructions. So, in order to get the sword, what we're actually going to use is a line, a very, very thick line as the hilt of the sword, and then a triangle for the top of it. So, in order to get a line, I'm going to state line. Line takes 4 arguments, where it starts to where it ends. The XY where it starts, the XY where it ends. So, let's say it's going to start somewhere over here. This time we're going to eyeball it. So we're going to say it's going to start at, say, 310 and at a Y of 295. So the X is going to start at, is it 210? 310, Y of 295. And let's pull it out to over here. So let's say an X of 400, a Y of 360. Okay, but you can barely see this line. In order to see the line, we're going to increase the thickness by increasing stroke weight. We're going to give it a very big stroke weight of 20. When we do that, we also increase the stroke weight of everything else. So in order to not do that, I'm going to come right to the top before we do everything else, and I'm going to say stroke weight for the rest of these guys of just like 2. Okay, that is looking much better. So we have the sword. It isn't looking great though with color, so it's just a stroke. I'm going to say brown for the stroke. Okay, similar story. We've now made all the other things brown, so we need to come back up here and go stroke. Let's just make it black. Keep it simple. Okay, that's looking better. Okay, have our sword. We now want to put a triangle over here. We're going to eyeball the coordinates of the triangle. The triangle, again, to put it to work, you need to specify the coordinates of the corners. So let's say one of the coordinates are over here. And let's say that is 350 and a Y of 385. I'm just rounding it to nice numbers. So triangle. 350, let's just check that again. 350, 385. Okay, we're going to bring it across to there. 415, 320. 415, 320. Okay, oh, I like how we're seeing this update in real time. It isn't quite in line, so I want to bring it a little bit more that way. So to do that, I need to change both the X and Y. Let's say 402, 312. Let's just go 410. Let's see what happens. And 310. That's looking better. Okay, cool. Last one, we want it to be somewhere over there. So let's say 470, 420. Let's see if this works. Yes, okay. Kind of. Let's make it a bit bigger, I think. So maybe up to there. 530, 460. 530, 460. We want to change this stroke to be a little bit less. So maybe a stroke of like um, 1. Let's keep that simple. Oh, that's the color. Sorry, I need to go stroke weight to like 1. There we go. When did I set the color to gray? How is the color? Oh, because it's the same color as the shoes. Okay, that is fine. Yeah. But the stroke outline, we don't want it to be brown. We want it to be black. Okay, guys. After much drawing, we have finished our Minecraft character. Good stuff.